Hi, everybody. This is Deb Frew from the Worldwide Metaphysical Tribe. And today we're speaking with one of our speakers at our big event in August. The Worldwide Metaphysical Tribe is a group of professional metaphysicians and alternative practitioners who meet once a year in August to heal ourselves, each other, and the planet. We've been sort of brainwashed to not work together, we've always been taught that everyone is our competition, but in reality, it's cooperation, not competition, that's going to bring the shift. So let's get it happening. You can learn all about the Worldwide Metaphysical Tribe at internalwilderness.com, which is my website, and you'll find a tab for us. Sign up, it's free. And you'll get all the information you need to join us for our big gala event. This is our 6th year being held, being held at a luxury Echo B&B in the middle of the country outside of Chicago. Last year we had people from 4 states. This year I'm expecting at least that. So please do check us out. I'm very excited to introduce to you one of our speakers for that day, and this is Jean Kuhn. Jean is a business coach, and she is here to help us because those of us who are metaphysicians and alternative practitioners are often allergic to spreadsheets and things that we need to do to actually charge or pay taxes. And Jean is going to help us understand the whole making money thing, because once you start making money and you can pay your bills, now you've really made a big step in your business, and you're a real business. You're not a hobby. And so Jean is there to talk to us. We're all professionals, and everybody needs to step up their game every so often. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you Jean Kuhn.
Good morning, Deb. How are you?
I'm great, and it's great to see you. Jean, before we get into anything, would you please tell everyone how they can find you on the web?
Yeah, I'm pretty easy to find. It's Jean Kuhn, KUHN.com. And that's
Perfect.
My website.
Perfect.
Letters.
I'd like you to start, if you would, by telling us a little bit about your background and how you wound up coaching soulpreneurs such as us.
Okay, well, my entrepreneurial background started, I actually decided to become an entrepreneur April 29th, 1985 at 8:42 p.m. And that was when my first baby was born, and that nurse put him in my arms, and I knew at that exact moment I was not going back to a job that I truly hated. I hated my job, and I'm not meant to work within the confines of somebody else's schedule. I just knew I wasn't. And I was going to figure out the whole entrepreneurial thing by the time I was 30. I would retire my husband. We would retire on some tropical island and live happily ever after with baby after baby after baby, right? It took me 20 some years to figure out how to really make money as being an entrepreneur, right? And I did the same thing that I'm sure a lot of people in your tribe do, is that I wasn't charging enough money, right? So I couldn't pay my bills. I didn't know how to get clients. I didn't know how to go out there and find new business for myself. So what I did was what a lot of small business owners do those first 20 years is I kept starting a business and it didn't work. So I would find another business to go into and it didn't work. And I would start another business and it didn't work, right? And then I'm like, okay, other people are having success here. I must not be doing something right. I started really getting into personal development, right? Zig Ziglar was my mentor of choice. And I started going to Zig Ziglar. He used to come to Chicago back in the early 90s, and he would come and do a whole day by himself. And I never
remember that.
Yeah. And I never missed that. And none of my friends would go with me, right? Nobody had the time to go figure out how to be a better them. So I did it by myself, and that was really the start of it. Once I was told that it's okay, number one, to make more money, and number two, how to do it. And then eventually, throughout the years, probably in the last 10 years, I've had a business coach myself. I still have a business coach because I think if I am a coach, and if any of your people are a coach, they're out of integrity if they don't have one.
I agree.
Yeah.
So how did you come across starting to coach people in the metaphysical and alternative arts?
It's crazy because last year I had a woman who came to me who is a healer, an energy healer, and we just connected, and it was just an immediate attraction. And I don't think you can be in personal development and not understand the law of attraction, right? I think we hear about it, but we don't really understand it to start with. And, but I believe that personal development also leads to all of this other stuff, right? So I was just attracted to her. She was attracted to me, and it just turned out to be a really good fit. And to be honest, don't tell anybody, but I have got a little woo-woo side going on here. Right? I can feel the energy around people. I feed off the energy around people. And that's one reason why I go to conferences all the time, because that when I feel low, when I feel like I've given everything I got, that's how I fill myself back up, is with the energy of other people. As being a solopreneur, right? And you are too, right? When you're home and you're working all the time in seclusion, it's draining if you're an extrovert. Yeah.
One of the things that drew me to start my own event, and this is networking for metaphysicians, professional metaphysicians, and alternative healers, is because I was burning out. You're home all the time. I live out in the country, a log cabin on a lake in the woods. It's a long ride to get to see anybody. And so you really start to burn out. And I thought, why don't I bring all my friends out here? And we can watch. What we do at the end of our evening is we watch the Perseid meteor shower, because there's no obstruction and we can really see. And it's just a nice unwinding, but it's also the same thing that you said, filling up your cup. You really need to fill up your cup on a regular basis in order to continue to help other people.
Right. And if you don't fill yourself up energy-wise, if you don't fill yourself up by making enough money, you can never help anyone else.
That's right. That's right. And, it's funny. You hear it all the time, oh, money is just energy, but really, yeah, it is energy. And think about it. When does electricity, for example, turn on the light? When you have a complete circuit. And if you are giving, and nobody's giving back to you, whether they're paying you for your services or whether you're receiving that great boost that you get at conferences, then there's no circuit. And the electricity that you bring to your own business it just dissipates. It has nothing. It has no purpose. So in order to keep the purpose going, yes, you have to charge money, because you have to feel properly compensated for what you do. And people will feel as if they got something, because when you don't charge people, or you're afraid to charge people, or you're really afraid to charge people. When I started reading tarot professionally 33 years ago, I was charging $15 an hour. That was the going rate. And I suddenly realized that I was, pretty good at this, and started raising my prices, which was crazy unheard of, because that was against the going rate. But the fact is, you have to make ends meet. I was a single mom, 4 kids. Yep, had to do it.
Absolutely.
You learn the lessons the hard way sometimes.
You do. And I hear that though from a lot of energy healers and Reiki practitioners and hypnotists, right? That they feel like, no, I can't charge any more than that. That's the going rate. Well, that's BS. You decide what's the going rate, right? And your clients, if they're getting a ton of value from you, they will pay your going rate because you're worth it. If
That's right.
you're a half-ass practitioner, they're not going to pay your rate, and you're not going to get the rate that you're asking for. But if you've invested in yourself and you've learned your skill, right, and you work it, and you're really good at what you do, why should you be paid the going rate?
Exactly.
I know it's crazy how people view themselves when it comes to that. And I will say that, Deb, that this is the first thing I help people with, and I'm going to say women mostly because really women are mostly attracted to me, is I teach them what they're worth. That's the very first thing we do is, what are you worth in the marketplace? Because if you don't know that, you'll never get it. You'll never earn enough money, ever.
Well, and there's an extra added layer for people in our woo-woo line of work, and that is that supposedly because our talents are God-given, we should give them away. And I always think to myself, well, if I have a leak in my roof and I call a carpenter, he's probably got a God-given talent to fix my roof, and I don't have any problem paying him. So
Right.
why should anyone have any trouble paying me?
It's because somebody along the lines decided that we should be giving more than we get. And I totally believe I totally give more than I get paid for all the time. I believe in that. Right?
Well, I do too. And I always tell people, if you don't have an outlet to do your work for free, then you should really look one up. For readers such as myself, you can go on Blog Talk Radio and just be the featured guest, and then you can do free readings, and you're giving back. If somebody comes to you and it's just, you just feel that this one needs to be free, then you just make it free. It's your business. You get to decide.
Yes, as long as you don't get caught up in that. Everybody, I feel like they need to be free, and then I feel like they need to be free, and then I feel like they need to
Oh,
be
yeah.
free.
And yeah, you can get caught in that. It's true.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Well, can you give us a little preview of your talk? Because tell us the title of your talk, and then give us a little bit about it.
I call it Increase Your Cash Flow Fast. And the reason I do that is because in 2000, now I've been an entrepreneur for 34 years, but in 2002, I bought my very first bankrupt business.
Oh.
Are you smart enough not to buy a bankrupt business, Doug? Because I didn't get that memo. Right? So I bought not one, but two. So actually the first one I bought in 2002, I turned that business around within 12 months and added $100,000 to the bottom line.
Wow.
4 years later, I bought a second bankrupt business, and I did that. And they were both chocolate stores, and they were both franchises, right? But I bought them for three reasons. Number one, and I'm going to talk about this in the talk. Number one, I bought it for, it was a chocolate store, so I thought, how bad could that be, right?
Right.
Number two, I knew immediately how to fix it when I walked in. Talking about God-given gifts, that is my God-given gift, that I know how to fix a business and I know how to do it fast. I know the strategy that it needs. And number three is when you buy a bankrupt business, they practically give those things away. So when it was a really good deal and I felt like I would be stupid to pass it up on such a good deal. So I bought that one. The second one I bought, I turned that one around in just under 12 months and added $100,000 to that bottom line.
Oh,
I had actually been coaching people and helping people my entire life as an entrepreneur. When I was in direct sales, way back when my first baby was 2 years old, I started in direct sales. And I started helping my team members build their team, get more clients, get more business, because I understood very quickly the more money they make, the more money I make, right? So for me, now I made way more money on what I sold, right? So I made sure that I was keeping my sales up, and I really love sales. And I think sales has a bad feel to it for a lot of people. They don't understand sales.
Not only is sales the thing that gives everybody the heebie-jeebies, but also marketing. For some reason, especially people in this line of work, feel that there's something kind of smarmy about marketing your services, as if, you know, you have to wear a bikini and stand by a car in order to sell your tarot readings. And, you know, there's a completely opposite way to do that, which is to address people's pain and
Absolutely.
show how you can help them, you know.
Yeah, I like to look at it that way. It's more, how can you help them? Because to be honest, in a chocolate store, there was not a lot of pain being addressed in my store, right? But I did help them with gifts for their clients, and I helped them pharmaceutical reps who came in and who had to take items to different businesses, right, to drop off. And I helped them in a lot of different ways by trying things that they had never tried before, right? I was the best at what else? You take your whole order and I would say to you, Deb, what else?
Great.
And I could what else you into 5 or 6 more things.
Well, that's fantastic. And I'm so excited that you're going to light the fire, because I really feel like, you know, when you find somebody who has a natural talent to see what's next and what's not being addressed and how to reshuffle the deck, you know, then it breathes new fresh air into your vision, and getting burned out isn't so much of a fear anymore. So I recommend that everyone come and fill their cup at the Worldwide Metaphysical Tribe networking event happening on August 10th from 11 to 11 at the Lincoln Way Inn Bed and Breakfast in Franklin Grove, Illinois. Please go to internalwilderness.com and get signed up. The mailing list that you'll be signing up for is pretty much just for this event. You may get 1 or 2 other emails within a year. And come and see Jean, because Jean is going to light your fire, and you'll be able to go home with so much more than you believe you will. I mean, it's always a wonderful, wonderful experience, and there's so much love flowing, but Jean is going to make it real. So thank you, Jean.
You're welcome.
I'm so excited. I cannot wait for your talk, and I'm sure everybody else is just dying to hear, how does this work, so we can all put it to use in our businesses.
Well, I cannot wait. I'm super excited about coming. It'll be my very first metaphysical anything. So I'm, meeting, right? So I'm really super excited to see who shows up there and talk to the people and see how I can best help them and maybe how they can help me.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Jean. Looking forward to August.
Me too, Deb. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.